Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that, and I would love it if you give me a thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Today I started working on some backgrounds. Yesterday I spent many hours trying to get in the flow, and it just wasn't happening yesterday. I left the art session yesterday feeling frustrated and disappointed, but this morning I woke up at 3 a.m. and then I finally wandered into the art table about 6, and I decided I was just going to start picking things up off the desk and see what happened. I worked pretty diligently between 6 and 10:30, and nothing was really coming together for me. Something clicked finally at 10:30, and I started putting together this particular piece. I'm just using an acrylic ink, permanent acrylic ink, and a stamp here. The stamp is of cursive text. You can't really read it, but that's okay. It's cursive, it's background text. I'm just applying a little bit of it to this mixed media page. I believe the weight of this paper is either 60 grams or 160 grams. It says on the front cover, if you rewind the video, it's right in the early section of the video. Okay, so I let that dry. It turned a little bit of a different color. Then I got out the Distress Oxide spray, which is this purple ink, and I just started applying it in a circular motion using a rotary cutter sharpener. I've never used a rotary cutter for its intended purpose, but I like making circles with it on the paper. One of the things I'm learning in my journey is if you don't really know what to do next on a piece of art, you're not really sure what the next step is. A lot of times I'll just add circles, and that seems to help me somehow. I know it sounds like a simple fix, but it really works for me. Just trying to get the Distress Oxide all over the entire page. I'm not looking for any kind of perfection here. I'm just letting go here. The page dried and turned a little bit different color purple, which I really liked. I got out some white acrylic ink and some bubble wrap. I just wanted to add some bubbles in the background. Bubbles, circles, whatever you want to call them. I'm just adding it here and there. I don't really have any grand plan. Then I got out this stencil and the modeling paste. This was the first time I'd ever tried modeling paste in my life. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. The jar is brand new, never been opened. I got a palette knife. I was just going for it. I will tell you that I was a little bit intimidated at first by this modeling paste. The first thing I have to do at this point is attach the stencil. It's a paper stencil, so I have to be very careful not to add too much paint, not to add too much of any kind of wet medium. Otherwise, the paper starts to disintegrate. So here I'm just taping it down so it doesn't move while I get ready to apply the modeling paste. I'm down in the lower left-hand corner just there trying to get a feel for what it was going to do, how thick it was, if I had any control over that palette knife or not. Like I said, I was pretty intimidated at first, but I kept going. Sometimes you just need to trust the process and just keep going. trying to get a nice coat of that modeling paste in there. I think this is about the point in time where I'm starting to get braver. So I start adding the modeling paste a little faster and in a little bit more of a volume. While I'm doing this, I'm kind of coaching myself internally, saying it doesn't have to be perfect. Just keep going. You don't have to know what the next step is. Just keep going. Trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. One of the hardest things for me when I do anything with a stencil is giving it enough time to dry, and I knew that this modeling paste was going to take a good amount of time to dry. So I was trying to walk that line of doing the reveal versus letting it sit a little longer. I haven't read the directions, but it's my guess that that stuff doesn't dry for at least 24 hours, if not longer. Completely dry, that is. That's why I usually have several projects on the go. I'm waiting for one to dry so that I can come back to it and add the next layer. I think I was just putting the finishing touches on here. And then I used a hairdryer to dry it a little bit before I took the stencil off. Overall, I was pleased with how it came out. Again, I wasn't looking for perfection. Thanks for watching.